because people don't buy when they're confused. They just don't. At the end of the day, if you want to be a broke, tired, burnt out entrepreneur with inconsistent income, confuse your customer. That's the best thing that you can do.
What up, though, Black Friday family? Welcome back to another installment of the Black Fridays podcast. Before we get into today's episode, make sure you check out previous episodes, all the dope guests that's been on here and their stories and their journeys. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and then tap in with us, and then also subscribe on major streaming platforms. All right, now that we got that business out of the way, I want to introduce you all to the homie, Justin Dunn. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, bro. You all right?
I'm doing great, man. This interview, like 2-3 years in the making?
Man, it's been a minute, man. We tried it one time, it didn't work, but we here now. We here though.
Exactly. But very happy to have you on the show, man. I love how you approach business. I love how you approach creativity, and you are a master of branding, I would say. And you've had a journey and a unique path in terms to get to this space. You've done it for many organizations. You've done it from a creative agency standpoint, I should say, and then also doing it for clients and then helping people build and develop their personal and business brands. So if you don't mind, could you kind of invite us into how did this journey even start? A Chicago stepper like yourself that came to Michigan, went to Michigan State and decided to stay here. How does one even start this branding journey?
Man, long journey, but very fulfilling. Started at MSU, right? While we were at Michigan State University, I always say it like this. While I was at Michigan State University, I was at YouTube University.
Okay.
And so I knew from jump, from high school, that I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. All right. And so working for somebody just always made me itch. And fast forward to East Lansing, we get there and I'm going through all these business classes. I'm looking at my teachers and I'm just like, you don't even run a business. Like, college is a crazy place, bro.
Yeah.
Well, you got business teachers teaching business that don't have businesses.
Correct.
It's a crazy thing.
Correct.
But you don't know that at 18,
yeah.
Right? So while I'm there, I'm just like, man, I want to do something. So I was always like a fashion guy. So I'm like, let me start a clothing brand, right? So I called it Broke Phobia. I don't know if you remember that, but started Broke Phobia, like this fear of being broke. Just put it on t-shirts. It was pretty cool. But I had to build a website. I had to learn graphic design. These are all things when you're a broke college kid. You know, I don't have money to pay somebody. So go to YouTube, learn the whole Adobe suite, learn Photoshop, learn Illustrator, right? And so I started printing stuff on shirts. Fast forward a little bit. I'm like, all right, now I need a website, you know. I was out the trunk selling t-shirts on campus. Then I'm like, all right, I need a website. So started teaching myself code, all right? So learned WordPress and I look up and somebody was like, hey, bro, I love your website. And they were like, who did it? And I was like, I did it. And they were like, could you do mine? So I was like, yeah. How much? I was like, I don't know. I never sold no website before.
Right.
I'm like $250. Right. So I did my first website for $250. And that just, it just took off from there. Right. Clients rolled into more clients, and I look up and the money that I'm making from web design and graphic design, is killing this t-shirt business, right? So I'm like, bro, I'm just about to double down on this. And so ever since then, after graduation, my girlfriend at the time turned fiance. We put our skill sets together. She was in the comm building all the time, so she was a journalism major, right? Yep. And so she took the skill sets from video. I took my skill sets from branding, design, web development, right? And we created Increased Branding and Design. That was our agency, right? So started that in 2015. And ever since then, man, just kind of took off. Starter phase that you got to go through, but better clients, create better projects, create more money. Fast forward, we've partnered with Nike. We've done projects with Rocket Mortgage, the city of Detroit, Ernst & Young, professional athletes, Man, we just done some very cool projects. And so I'm just grateful, bro. I'm grateful for where I am today. I'm grateful for what I do. And I just love branding, bro. I geek out on branding because it's the very reason why I'm here today, why I'm doing what I'm doing, why I'm helping the people that I help. And I'm here to talk about branding, business, all of it, bro. So
For sure.
That's just a quick little snippet of how I got here.
For sure. And then could you invite us to some of the things that you offer in terms of helping people build their brands? So you have a curriculum, you have coaching, you have events that you do. Could you let us know a little bit more about those?
Of course. So after doing so many projects, I originally started off with helping the startup, the new entrepreneur. My very first project, like I said, was from somebody who I just did a $250 website. So I always had a crush on up and coming entrepreneurs because I was one. But as projects get bigger, budgets have to get bigger.
Correct.
And so you start to veer away from newbies and up and coming people, up and coming startups and things like that because they don't have the money to help you, right? I mean, for you to help them. So after the agency, got stronger, I was just like, look, I got to go back to my crush. My crush is always this new startup entrepreneur. So I started just creating small courses and small experiences to help them, right? You may not have 10 grand, 20 grand to do a branding project, but you may have, $1,000 to take a DIY course, right? And so my first course dropped 2019. And that was just kind of like my thank you or my ode to startup entrepreneurs. After that, it graduated to coaching program, right? And so now I'm teaching up and coming entrepreneurs, really creatives, done for you service providers who are stuck in this time for money trap because they're selling their time and not their mind. So I'm teaching them how to take the same thing that they already possess inside of them up here, right? And I'm teaching them how to sell that thing, package that thing up and sell it so they do not have to sell their time away, right? It's just teaching them how to add another business model on top of the business model they already have, right? And so started coaching, right? And then I also do this thing called content cardio, right?
Yep.
So you came to one of my events and it's really pretty much me forcing people because today we're living in the age of the creator, right? And so this is the creator economy. So I'm teaching you how to be a creator and actually teach you how to get attention to your business. And so all that is a live content creation experience where I'll put 5 minutes on the clock and I'll give you a prompt, something like, 3 things I wish I knew before I started this business. You got to go make that. You got to go make that video.
Yeah. Right
now, you got 5 minutes on the clock. Go make it. Come back and we put another prompt up and we do that for 3 hours until you have over a month's worth of content in that small setting. So I'm just forcing you to go be great, share your opinion so that you could attract the people you desire to attract to your business.
And I'll let y'all know content cardio is for sure legit because we did it. He forced us to use the prompts and make the videos in a short period of time. And one of the videos that I had put out was actually controversial, quote unquote, and people were going back and forth on it, but that's kind of like that's the emotion that you want to get out of people in terms of engagement. So it works, people. So definitely be on the lookout for content cardio. And then before, I'm gonna have you break down some of the industry secrets and trade tricks of the trade for us in a minute. But before we do that, I gotta introduce you to Freestyle Fridays. So, so Justin, I mean, you from the Chi, you Midwest guy, you know how we do. You're going to have to give us like eight bars, 16 if you got it.
Like right now.
Right now. or we can do rapid fire. It's up to you.
What's rapid fire?
Rapid fire questions. They all about you.
Let's do random. Let's do rapid fire, bro. You better have me on here talking about Freestyle Friday. I was just watching The Basement earlier too. That's funny. I was watching the old Basement episodes.
I'm gonna have to, in the future, I'm gonna have to get a booth, and then I'm gonna just have afterwards. Me and the guests just gonna have to do a freestyle.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool. We're gonna go rapid fire this time.
For sure. All right. What would you say is the GOAT brand all time?
All time?
Yeah.
Apple.
Why is that?
The first company to ever do $1 trillion. And they are the best at getting people who are not making any money from them to argue other people, to argue with other brands. Do not come around me with an Android.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
They've done a great job at taking up so much mental real estate. So the very moment you think you need a device, the first brand you think of is Apple.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this. Speaking of GOAT brands, what is something that you, because you're a branding expert and I'm sure you know a ton and expert in marketing as well, what is a product or a service that you feel like was marketed or branded well, but you got on? And it could be anything. It could be something from TikTok Shop. It could be something from Best Buy. Like what's something that comes to mind?
Probably some headphones I got from Amazon. Probably. I don't even remember the brand, but they had an amazing, and this is why branding is so important. They had an amazing video that they put on Amazon, right? And the video just kind of broke down what the headphones were. I don't even remember what the brand name was, but
when you got them, they were garbage.
But you got them, and they were cheeks. They were cheeks. But this is the reason why branding is so important, because it's the curb appeal. I call it the curb appeal because. Why should somebody walk inside your house if the outside of it just looks horrible? They won't walk in your house, right? So that's the very first challenge or obstacle that somebody has to get over is the curb appeal. What does it look like? Because we eat with our eyes before we ever eat with our mouths first.
Facts. Right. That's why people be saying, I don't eat that. You can't eat everybody food.
You can't, right? And that's everywhere, right? Yeah. I've been to restaurants where you want to try the mac and cheese? And you look at it nah, I'm good.
I'm good. If somebody ain't make it with the arm, I'm straight.
Exactly.
Yeah. Got the arm on.
Gotta have the arm. That's funny.
What would you say, because I know over the years you hustled, had several different jobs, things like that. What would you say is the most random job that you ever held?
Random job. When I first graduated from state, I went back home to get my master's, but Blue Cross Blue Shield was very random, just a cubicle job. I was going back to get my master's, and my homie, his mom worked at Blue Cross for 40 years, so she had the plug inside. So I was just like, while I'm trying to build this freelance thing, let me do the Blue Cross Blue Shield. And it was just data entry stuff.
Yeah.
Super random though.
Okay.
Something that really killed cubicle job. Shout out to everybody with a cubicle gig, bro. It's just so draining.
For sure.
That was super random.
I agree 1,000%. What's your favorite thing about Detroit, being from Chicago?
My wife.
Okay. I was gonna say that's a layup, but
no, it's. I will say, man, the people are similar. They're not the same as Chicago, but the people are very similar, right?
Yeah.
And so I love the people. Let me just keep it like that. I love the people. The culture runs deep here with their, that Detroit innuendo, that spirit, right? Like that runs deep. So I appreciate that. I applaud that.
For sure.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about Chicago. Very prideful place, and this is my home, this is my city. Wherever I'm at in the city, it's all a part of me, and that's one thing I love about Chicago for sure.
Definitely agree for sure.
And do you have a book that you like or that you read recently that you can share with us?
Yeah, man, I got plenty of them. The one I'm reading right now is called Oversubscribed by Daniel Priestley, and Daniel Priestley's when it comes to marketing or business, he's one of my top 3, right? Guy out of I think he's maybe Aussie or UK. I can't remember exactly where he's from.
Okay.
But Oversubscribe is just teaching you how to launch with a door of people waiting on you to open up, waiting on you to open up, right? Rather than just opening up
and who wanna,
telling people to come on. Now, he teaches you how to build that hype up. So that a launch is successful. So
I got to buy that one.
Yeah, Oversubscribed is dope.
Bet. Well, appreciate you for partaking in Freestyle Fridays. We're going to get you on the mixtape in the future.
Get me on the next one, bro. Make this the interlude.
For sure. So I got to ask you, before we get too far into the conversation, I need you to break down, in Justin Dunn's opinion, what is a brand? Tell us in its simplest form, if we 6th graders, what is a brand?
So all a brand is, if you asked 100 people, you probably get, 113 different answers. But a brand to me, in its simplest form, the essence of what a brand is, it's a shortcut for the brain. Okay? And what I mean by that is the moment that a word pops up, you read it, you hear it, you think about something, right? And so when I say the word phone, what's the first brand that comes to mind?
Apple.
When I say the word shoes,
Nike.
when I say car,
General Motors.
when I say computer,
Dell.
when I say watch,
Fossil.
okay, right? So all of these brands have done a great job at snatching mental real estate up here. So the moment that you decide that you want to buy one of these or you need one of these things, one of these words, they come top of mind, all right? And I believe it's like 89%. The brand that comes top of mind first usually gets the business, okay? So even when it comes to food, right? You think about anytime you're trying to get something to eat, you and your wife, right? It's like, what you want to eat? It's like, you always go back to the same, like one or two that you always go to. Yeah. Even though you spend 45 minutes trying to figure out, it's like always that same one that you always go to.
Right.
That is the beautiful thing about branding. It's the brand that takes up the most mental real estate for when you desire the thing that they sell. That's branding in a sense, a shortcut for the brand.
Now, keeping your small business owners in mind as startups and creatives, the folks that you have different services and things that you cater to and started with, why is it important to invest in your brand from the jump? Because, you know, some people, they hustle or just got a straight like one track mentality. Let me just get into it and I'll figure all that out later. But why is it important to think brand? I don't want to say first, but initial thoughts, initial build out of any business. Why should you be intentional about your brand from the jump?
Because people don't care. What you're doing 9.5 times out of 10, 100 other people are doing. And with this beautiful device right here, we're connected across the globe. So why should I care? What are you going to say? What are you going to show me that is going to make me be like, you know what? I'm going to try you for the first time. That's the hardest thing to do. That first buy is you talking about you on the hot seat, right? Because if I try you and you suck, guess what? I'm never coming back ever again, right? But if I try you and that experience is a positive one, congratulations, you just snatched a little bit of mental real estate, right? Now the goal is to continue to have these positive engagements. And you do this so much, right? You do it so much over time, to where the point, I call it fuse. Fuse is when you've had so many repetitive positive engagements or experiences that this person cannot do life or their lifestyle without your brand. They fused their life with your brand, right? It's a difficult thing to do, but when you do it, bro, these people become evangelists for you. They start going to war for you. Right? It's the same reason why Apple and Android users are fighting to this day, right? Because Apple has told us you are a much cooler, out of the box thinker when you use our products. You are a much cooler creative when you use our products, right? And if you want to keep it a buck, Droid technology, right? And Samsung and Google, all this technology is better than Apple products if you want to keep it a buck.
Yes, and they even make the hardware for
right?
Yeah.
If you want to keep it a buck. But guess what? The commercials suck. Right?
Right.
I can't attach myself to those things. Apple has done an amazing job at telling us for decades now that if you don't use our devices, you're thinking like the norm, like the usual, the gray, bland products, right? So they've told us that consistently over and over and over and over to the point where we're like, yep, I attach myself to this, right? Nike has told us determination, perseverance, right? All of these things so much. They've done it so much over the years consistently. Now we attach our values, our life, our lifestyle to that brand.
Right.
Right. And every time we wear it, we're screaming determination, right? Consistency, perseverance, all of these things, right? And so that's, again, at this moment, I call it fused, to whereas I'm going to attach everything that I have, my being, to this brand because they align with my values, how I view myself, all of that.
Now, let's say I'm trying to figure out what my brand is, whether it's personal or it's business. And I got all these thoughts. I got all these things that I do. I'm a creative. I do photography. I do videography. I do all X, Y, and Z. I babysit on the weekends. Yep. How do you educate people on how to hone in what your brand is and how to find your brand identity?
There's nothing wrong with, you're not a monolithic human, right? Like we all do these things that require commas, right? I do this, right? But what pain do you solve? And who do you solve that particular pain for, right? I really pretty much attribute it to your mind being a marketplace, right? Imagine your mind is Target, right? You have different aisles for different things. You got different products in those different aisles, right? So if you want to position yourself as an expert in whatever pain that you solve, pick a pain. Make a product for that pain. Make a product for that person who's in that pain. Give them an actual power. And then that power is going to lead them to a payoff. That's like my formula, right? Choose a pain. Pick the person for that pain. Give them a power with the product that gives them a payoff. Okay? And then guess what? Move on to the next pain, to the next thing that you do, right? But you don't want to be somebody who's talking about all of these different things, right? It's nothing wrong with being them, but you want to make sure your different audiences are segmented because people don't buy when they're confused. They just don't. At the end of the day, if you want to be a broke, tired, burnt out entrepreneur with inconsistent income, confuse your customer. That's the best thing that you can do.
And then what about so speaking of what you mentioned in terms of when I talk to people about branding, or primarily students, when I talk to them about branding, I mentioned how it's a feeling. So you mentioned Target and people want to go to Target, and I always ask people, what's the difference between Target and Walmart? And like, they'll say all types of stuff like, man, Target more chill, and Walmart is X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, they're the same store. They're department stores. Like at their core, they're department store that do the exact same thing. Yeah. There's two different types of feelings in terms of when people come in there and what they expect to get as well. Yeah. So could you kind of like talk to how people feel, how they should feel when they interact with brands? It's
the experience. At the end of the day, when I walk in, that experience that I get from Walmart is totally different from Target, right? There's no Starbucks in Walmart.
It's a Subway.
Right? It's a Subway, right? The beautiful thing about Walmart is they know their ideal audience. You're going to pay about 10% more in price when you go to Target versus Walmart, right? So they're attracting somebody who's more economically focused, right? Who has a little bit less, right? So that's one. And price is a huge part of your branding. Or I can literally stop talking right there.
Yeah.
You're going to either attract or repel people with your price. Okay. I use the example of BMW and Rolls-Royce. The most popular vehicle for BMW is the 7 Series. The most popular vehicle for Rolls-Royce is the Ghost. Okay. The 7 Series starts at $83,000. The Ghost starts at $500,000. But did you know BMW owns Rolls-Royce? Did you know that 70% of the Rolls-Royce parts are created in the 7 Series as well?
Yeah.
It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Right? Same company, or it's two companies owned by one person. Parts are being made in the same factories. You got parts that are in the 7 Series that are also in the Rolls Royce Ghost.
Right.
Right. But the price, right? I'm not saying the vehicle's the same, but the vehicle's the same.
Right.
Right. But you got this perception around this vehicle takes 6 months to make, and you custom build it, and you make it yours, and every single piece is sound and all this. It's just all it's just that, but that's branding.
Right.
At the end of the day.
Right.
And so price is a huge part of your branding.
So that's why, sticking with automotive, these automotive companies will have different verticals of who they're trying to attract in terms of customers.
Yes.
So just like I mentioned General Motors earlier. So General Motors, their entry brand is going to be Chevy.
Yeah.
And then you move up into you'll graduate to a Buick.
Cadillac
and
or
then
whatever.
Essentially they want to move you into Cadillac. That's the goal, to take you from entry level to luxury.
Yeah.
And we want to be able to move you down our life cycle of a customer.
Your value ladder. That's really what it is. And every business should have one. Anybody who is, especially if you are the main stage of your business, like people are coming to your business for you to help them with some type of transformation or painkiller, you should have different value tiers, right? I teach people how to build the highest one first and then work your way down, though. Don't try to get rich off a $37 product, because it's just not going to happen.
Right.
Sell a $3,000 product. The moment you make one sale, congratulations, you got a little bit of runway to go focus on some other things. Try to do 4 of those sales a month. That's $12,000 a month. You got a lot of runway, right? Versus 4 sales of your little $50 product, right? It's not moving the needle. Right. So price is so huge.
What's the trick that they call it, where essentially at Starbucks you can get a tall, you get a grande, you can get a venti, but really they banking on you getting the
at least
grande.
The grande.
At least the grande.
That's just a sales psychology, right? You don't want something that's the least. And you got some people who just don't care for the most, right? So that grande is going to be the one that people go with all the time, right? Shout out to Starbucks. I just found the caramel crunch this summer, and it changed my life. My wife just posted me on her Instagram about that, but it's real.
For sure.
But that's why you go to Target. Because you go there and get your caramel crunch, and you just frolic around in the house, right? So I get it, right? They blowing some type of air in there or something, bro. Because you just get ditzy in there and you just forget.
$500 later.
Yeah, you went in there for one thing.
Yeah.
But again, you're not getting that at Walmart.
Exactly.
Right? So it's just brand perception, man. Just messaging, that's another one, right? How are you speaking? What words are you using to attract the type of person you want to come to you, right?
Yes.
So good, right? All of these things either, like I said, attract or repel people at the end of the day.
So let's say I kept, let's continue down this consultation with Dr. Dunn. So let's say I've considered all these things. So I didn't know what my brand was. Okay, now I've been able to figure it out. I have a clear picture of what that looks like. And from a creative standpoint, how in this creator economy that we live in, the world of social media and digital media, okay, now how do I go and attack my messaging? And keep in mind, I'm a startup. I got low budget, no budget. So how do I go about doing that effectively?
So I typically help my students craft what I call a millisecond message. And this millisecond message is going to be the anchor for everything that you do. And all it is my name is blank. I help adjective person, right? So I help busy entrepreneurs, right, get to payoff, whatever it is, right, without pain, all right, so that they can insert heaven there, right, whatever they desire, right? So I help struggling entrepreneurs sell their mind so they don't have to sell their time, so that they can have more time and money freedom to build a business that gives them unlimited income, impact, and independence, right? So if you can make a simple framework, right, a simple millisecond message is what I call it, somebody asks what you do, you give them I help person get payoff without pain, right? If you can kind of set that up, congratulations, you have the foundation for all your messaging moving forward. All right. So all you have to do, you can literally crunch that down to a 3-word or 2-word tagline, or you can blow this sentence up to your brand manifesto or your brand story. Okay. So you always start with this millisecond message. That's pretty much how I help my clients.
Now, how can you do some of that market research to identify, okay, who am I really talking to? Yep. Who is my real customer? Who am I vibing with? Because you can have an idea of who that might be in your mind, but then you may not necessarily be selling to those people.
Go make something. That's really what it is. Today, we are so doused, weighted with information that we never go and actually go do something. So my challenge or charge to people who, you know, are in this like market research phase, go survey some people, ask them what are their actual pains. After you survey them, go make something, go put something out there. When I say make something, go do a master class or anything, right?
Yeah.
Right? And see if you got some people that'll bite, right? After that, go actually build a beta product, something for beta members. All right. This is the lean launch. This is what I learned in my master's program, right? Right. Go build something light, some minimal viable product. If it works, congratulations, you got something.
Do you do MBA or creative MBA? I mean, do you do a creative master or did you do an MBA?
MBA, yeah.
Oh, my man. Digital marketing. Yeah, shout out to you. Yeah. Black man with MBA.
Yeah. So, go build something. And if somebody, you know, don't take too long on it. Put something out there ugly. Take something off a napkin, put it up there. And if somebody bites, congratulations. You just validated something. That's a real pain that you need to solve. Go launch something for real now. All right? But the problem is we're so bogged down with information that we never go out and do nothing. We know we don't have a big enough sample size ever to even decide what the smart decision is. You know?
Yeah.
So go make something. Go survey some people, go make something. And my big thing is solve an actual pain. Don't create a vitamin business. A vitamin business is a business that has to always remind you that, hey, I'm here. You know, it's like where are your vitamins right now?
Yeah.
Right? You know where your painkillers are. Just in case a body part start acting up, they're in the glove compartment. You keep them in multiple places, right? It's in her purse. It's in the glove. It's in the bathroom cabinet. It's in your nightstand next to the bed, just in case. Because you keep a painkiller around, right? You have to be reminded to take your vitamins all the time. So if you solve an actual pain, if you sit down and write down all the pains that you solve, just pick one. And I promise you there's a bunch of people out there in that pain. And they will gladly pay you to get out of that pain. I compare it to a toothache. You ever had a toothache before?
Absolutely.
I will never forget, early entrepreneur. I'm a newbie, so no health insurance for real, right? I'm just fresh out, just young, 20s, and I'm like, I'll never get hurt. What do I need insurance for, right? Man, I had a wisdom tooth just wake me up out of my sleep 4 a.m. And I'm talking about killing my face, dude. And I can't go back to sleep. I just have to get in my car and just drive to the dentist's office, wait till they open. Run in there when they open. And I'm just like, look, you gotta get this out my face. You know what she did? Like, you don't have insurance, so you know this gonna cost. Do you think I care about how much it's gonna cost?
Not at all.
If the pain is painful enough, people do not care how much it costs to get out of that pain. So build a pain-killing business, right? That's why I said write a list of all of the pains that you solve down. Then connect those to the type of person that's in that pain. Congratulations, you have an actual pain that you desire to solve for a certain person to get them to a specific payoff. Because they're in this pain right now, they can't get to their payoff that they desire. Okay, so that's just this business one-on-one. And I wish my master's program taught me that, right? But I wish undergrad taught me. But that's just literally what it is. It's find a pain, find a person that has that pain, and make a product to get them to this payoff.
Now, while you're in that phase of the process, should you be focused on finances in the sense of, should I be focused on how much money can I get from this thing, or how many problems can I solve? And I'm asking that because a lot of people will be like, I ain't doing that for free.
Of course, right?
How do you do you navigate that?
This is how you get around it. You have to serve these people that are pretty much beta members or founding members for the thing that you do. You have to serve them in a way that's unsustainable so that you can build something sustainable. What do I mean by that? You definitely can have a presentation, whatever it is that you're doing, to say, hey, I'm going to do this thing for you. I'm going to solve this pain. And we're going to do it because this is a new product for me. I'm going to do it at a fraction of the price. Can't do it for free. But what I can guarantee you is I'm going to walk you through this thing, me personally, by myself. We're going to talk every day if it takes, right? And I'm going to make sure that you get this payoff. Okay, I'm going to make sure this pain is relieved and that you get this payoff, okay? You do that 3 times, 5 times, just to get 3 to 5 beta members. Get them their payoff that you promised. Congratulations, you just did something unsustainable, because working with them one-on-one and all of that is just unsustainable. You can't grow that like that.
Right.
But you do that in return for what? A testimonial, social proof, right? So once you have those testimonials, the social proof, congratulations, you can go and launch to the world now. Because what happens in this beta phase is they're punching holes in your system, your product. They're saying, hey, something's wrong here. And you're making sure you're fixing it. You're fixing it as you go, though. But the one thing is you got paid to actually make a product. Okay? Yes, sometimes doing it free, you may have to do it. But I teach people how to get a bunch of people in a room, a digital room, talk about a pain that they're in, that you know they're in, and say, hey, I'm launching this product. When it launches, it's going to be $3,000. But I need some social proof. I need some beta members to make sure that this thing is perfect. So I'm only going, when I launch it, I'm launching it for $3,000. But for you, because you kicked it with me on this webinar, masterclass, whatever, it's only going to be $500. All right. And so now you're getting paid to make a product. All right. So imagine 5 people take you up on that. Right. You just got $2,500. Right. To build a product, right? And then you got these people who are going to tell you, hey, I think you should fix this. I think you should fix this. Oh, bet, yup, bam. A few weeks later, however long it takes you to get your transformation, congratulations. All right, now send me over a 60-second video on how amazing this product was. That's the deal. That's the agreement. That's how you do it.
Love it. That's fire. And some of the people that graduated from just you coaching them and being able to elevate their brand and what it is that they're trying to do, or attending any of your events, people that you work with, do you have any like success stories or one that comes to mind that you could share with us, just like what people have been able to accomplish after going through Dr. Dunn's programming?
Man, I have so many, bro. And at the end of the day, it's time and money freedom. That's really what I'm promising, right? Like I literally could show you a client right now. I posted a video on Instagram yesterday about it. But a stylist who wasn't even officially in my coaching program, she just goes to my church. So she just lucked up, that I was there. And she just put me to the side, was like, look, I need some help on this, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, look, we can get on a call. So after a couple calls, I'm letting her know, like, look, you are in your way. You're great at making wigs. I think she like designs custom wigs. And it's like this new thing now where you get a wig size specifically for your head. Your wife may know what that means. Right? I don't know, right? But it's a value in the marketplace. It's value.
Right.
So I'm like, look, take this, go make a course, go make some videos real quick of you installing this thing. Or of you making it, installing it. Because there are other stylists who desire to acquire this skill set so they get paid more.
Right.
Right? There's only so many heads you can do behind that chair. That means you have a ceiling on your income. Go make a product that you can sell over and over and over again. But fast forward, man, I'm pushing her, telling you, playing you in your way. Go make the product, right? So She finally makes the product. She texts me on Sunday like, look, it's ready. I'm launching it. And I'm like, congratulations. And I go launch it to the world so you can sell it over and over and over again. She launches it on Tuesday. 1 hour later, she texts me like, hey, I just launched this thing. And an hour later, somebody just bought it for $1,050. Damn. $1,050. $1,050 for her program, her transformation that I told her, because she was so broke, she couldn't even afford Thinkific or Teachable. So she couldn't even put the videos on the platform. Right. Yeah. So I'm like, forget that. Do it nasty, do it ugly, do it musty, right? Put all your videos in Google Drive. Mm-hmm. Do you think people care where the videos are? No, they want to learn the skill set. Yeah. You solving a pain right now. Mm-hmm. So guess what? She uploaded them to Drive. Somebody bought it for $1,000. An hour later. Now, the most beautiful part about that $1,000 is it's not attached to her time, right? She doesn't have to get up and go do something now because somebody gave her money. That's like chef's kiss. That's what I'm teaching my people, right? Detach your time from your income so that the moment that somebody hands you money, you don't have to cringe, because I promise you, D, like it came to a point where when somebody started handing me money, I was used to just like cringe, because now I gotta like get up and I gotta go do the thing that I promised to them I was gonna do, right? And that's not why I started this business, right? And so I love agency life. The done for you, all of my done for you heroes out there, service providers, shout out to you. Service is the most beautiful thing you can do in your business, right? But how are you selling that service is the question that I have for you. Are you selling your time? If you are, congratulations, you have a ceiling on your income and you need to remove that ASAP. Are you selling on widgets? Meaning, are you selling a haircut? Are you selling a website, right? These are commodities. These are widgets that other people in the world are selling. Guess what happens when you're selling a widget? Somebody over here is going to compare you to somebody over here. And now you're competing on price. Right? So you're not selling time. You're not selling a widget. You're selling transformation. That's how you escape this time for money trap. Okay? And so that's what I've been teaching. That's what I teach my people, all my done for you service providers, is remove this ceiling, remove this box, and sell transformation. And not only just sell transformation, sell it for high ticket, $3,000 and up, and sell it in a group setting. Meaning I can teach 50 people in 1 hour versus having to teach one person for 50 hours, bro. Like, just make you itch. Yeah. But that's what we do. We create these businesses unknowingly, like unconsciously. And it really goes back to the school system. School taught us that I had to be here a certain amount of hours and do a certain amount of assignments to graduate to the next grade, to the next grade. So we become adults and become business owners, and we create businesses that subconsciously we're saying, hey, if I work more, I make more. And that used to work in the 90s. Yeah, it's 2024 now, right? It's time to work smarter. This phone, you got technology, all that, so you don't have to do it anymore.
For sure. So you're big on digital products, and in terms of that time freedom,
it frees you. It frees you. Like digital products and pretty much group coaching. Those are my two.
Love it.
Yep.
Love it. So before I move into the future and talking about what that looks like, I would like to know, how do you, based on what you had mentioned, what you coach your clients on, what you do as well, we have information overload. I'm somebody who suffers from it. I know that I do, just because I love to be able to.
You're a learner.
I'm a learner. Yep. But how do you put on the blinders to say, all right, look, Justin, you said you got these 6 ideas. You know you got to do something. How am I going to lock in and figure out, okay, out of the 6, I'm about to focus on this one, and I'm going to ride this train until the wheels fall off, or it don't work out.
Until you automate it, right? It's not like it's not like you're just forgetting the other 5, right? But you're taking this one, and you cannot. The one thing you don't want to do is try to give all 6 of them your attention, because there's no way that these things are going to grow, right? And so in order to get past this, it's really information obesity, right? It's just, you're just consuming till you're just obese and you're not even doing nothing with it. Like how many saved posts do you have on Instagram that you haven't even looked at?
Yeah, a bunch.
Right?
Yeah.
Like we do this because this thing gives us an abundance of information, but nobody's doing no implementation. Nobody's doing application, right? And so you just got to decide, bro. You ask me, how do you get past it? You just got to decide. Decide that me focusing on one of these and automating, getting it to a place where it's automated so that I can then go to the next one is more important than me giving a piece of myself to this one and a piece of myself to this one. Because no business is going to grow like that.
Yeah.
A business needs your whole self to a point to where it's locked in on you make it a machine to where it's attracting people to your business, admitting people into your world and acquiring them, right? That's this machine. It's attraction, admission, and acquisition. If you can get a business to that phase to where those three machines are running together to make this beautiful, this beautiful piece of art, right? Mm-hmm. Then you can go get the other one and do the same thing. Mm-hmm. Give it your all, lock in, get it to a place where you are solving a pain for a person, getting them a payoff, and then attracting that person and getting them to admit themselves into your world. Admission is just giving them a name, email, and phone number. Mm-hmm. So that they learn more about you, then they give you money. And congratulations, go to the next one. But you cannot continue to give a piece of yourself here, because it just won't. They'll just be, they'll just be malnourished. Yeah. All of the business will be malnourished.
Yeah, you're basically on the hamster wheel at that point.
Yeah, you literally, and for what? What are you getting from it? Right. Because none of them are giving you the revenue that you desire, right? So it's no point in that. You literally you're hustling, and hustles stop when you stop.
Right.
And that's just what I do not recommend.
That's a proverb right there. It's a proverb. So speaking of automation and the future, as I mentioned, you have dived deep into the world of AI and been leveraging that for content creation, as we had a conversation about months ago or like sometime last year, and then also from a business standpoint as well, and building out some dope things. Could you talk to us about how does AI intertwine with the world of Justin Dunn?
Man, AI is it's my side chick, bro. Don't tell my wife that though. But when we got access to artificial intelligence, the public, I don't think people understand how the opportunities that opened up. I really don't think people it's really we weren't around, or we were around, but when the internet came out, we were obviously babies, but when the internet came out, bro, people were just like, what is this thing? Some people got it and knew it, right?
Right.
But most people were just calling it a fad, This is the equivalent of that, but 10 times crazier. Because now I have a second brain that thinks faster than me, that acts faster than me, right? And then I can actually use it to nurture leads. I can use it to make sales. I can use it to make content, bro. I have this formula that I use. I'm giving y'all everything. OP plus OP equals OP. We are living in the greatest opportunity to share our opinion to create opulence. All opulence is, if you look up in the thesaurus, is abundance, wealth, riches, overflow, right? We are living in the greatest opportunity with technology, right? AI, just everything digital, to share our opinion. If you look online, it's some of the goofiest stuff happening online. People sharing some of the goofiest opinions. But they're building an audience. It's people sharing some dope stuff, building an audience. So that tells me, open your mouth, show up and share, right? Go share your opinion. You're going to attract the people that desire more from you. and you're going to repel the people that don't care. But I'm here for the people that are here for me.
Right.
So this is the greatest opportunity to share your opinion to create opulence. Right. And AI is the reason, or is the thing that's going to be able to help you share your opinion 30, 50, 100x. Point blank, period.
Fire. What tools are you using?
Man, I geeked out so much on AI. Chat is my my main, but I had, with the help of some, software engineers, I had my team build out a way that chat can speak to Google Suites, the Google Suite. And so I can train Justin AI to, with content that I've already given it, and train it so well to now that it spits out a piece of content every single minute for me. If it ever spits out something that I may not have said, I'll say, I don't say it like this. I would have said it like this. And I'll retrain it until I'll retrain it and retrain it and retrain it until you look up and now it's speaking just like me. It's saying things that I for sure would have said it, how I would have said it. And so now I'm using Justin AI to make my content. All right. So if I need an email, hey, give me an email. I want to talk about this today. I want to talk about how important branding is today. All right. Give me one. Spit it out. Send it over to my CRM while I'm sitting on the couch chilling with my son, and I'm sending out a mass email. I don't know if I'm pretty sure you get my emails, right?
Yes, I do. I got text message the other day. Yeah.
You get text message. This is all because of AI, bro. I say this because you got some people on here who are afraid of it. AI is not you, right? It can't be you.
Right.
Right. So you're going to have me start preaching now. I say AI plus I am. It's the I am in you, the God in you, right? That's the perfect combination of you building a business that gives you the true time and money freedom that you desire. So taking AI, taking ideas that you have and helping it, bringing it to life for you, but still put your sauce on it. That's the difference. That's the difference right there. That's what's going to be the game changer. Right. And that's what I'm doing now.
Right. So don't be afraid of AI. Dive in. Learn.
Man, AI is not going to replace people. It's going to replace people who don't use it.
Facts. And I tell people that all the time. And I work in tech, big tech, and I use AI systems every day now. And it's people that I've been able to just tell about ChatGPT or Copilot and things like that. They use it one time, they get hooked, and they're just like, man. Because for a lot of people, one thing that kind of hit home for me just in terms of real life applications was working with colleagues, and they talk about they may be neurodiverse and how them being able to leverage OpenAI helps them like streamline their work and help them be more productive in the work that they do. And then you think about people like, for example, it's not AI, but just thinking about tech. Apple is making their AirPods you can use as a medical grade hearing aid. And so like things like that, like you just think like the real life application, like this is like changing lives.
We're living in it. And don't get me wrong, you can still ride horse and buggy today.
Yeah, for sure.
Could. Yeah. Right. If you want to get around, you can still do horse and buggy.
Right.
The question is, why would you though?
Right.
When you can hop on a plane. Right. And so that's the difference, right? The people that are afraid of it and just haven't gotten into it yet, it's the equivalent of them still getting around on this planet via horse and buggy.
Right. Like the people who don't want to drive EVs because it's a big battery.
It just, I don't know. That's a whole nother conversation, bro. But if you are not on AI right now, you are walking around here with ankle weights on.
For sure.
Point blank period.
For sure.
Point blank period. That's it. If I can kind of paint you a visual,
that's how you
got a vest and ankle weights on, bro. And you don't need that no more.
Exactly.
Take it off.
Exactly. So Justin, tell me what's going on. What do you see in the crystal ball? What's on the horizon for you in the future that you can share with us so that we can make sure that we continue to stay tapped in?
Yeah. As far as my stuff or just
life,
period
business,
Oh man, Stop selling. I'm gonna just say what I say now, right? Because again, this was my biggest shackle. Stop selling your time. Start selling your mind. Figure out a way to package up your expertise, your opinion, your value that you share. Because guess what? There are people behind you who will gladly pay for the knowledge that you possess today, to get to where you are much faster than it took you, and they will pay for that speed, right? It's that revelation right there is, I can go on and on about that, but the people that get it, I promise you, the sooner you start walking in this thing, the sooner you'll be freer. But the people that don't, you're just going to continue to, the businesses that don't, you're going to continue to deal with all of the pains that you're dealing with right now, right? Technology is going to constantly change. I know there are people on here who are watching who just have a tech overwhelm, right? They don't know which 4 tools to use out of the 400 that the world is showing, right? Cherry pick the best stuff. But at the end of the day, my goal for everybody, especially all my done for you service providers, is to get you to take what you have already in here and up here and make it a coaching program. So that's what my coaching program teaches. It teaches you how to launch your coaching program in just 14 days so that you can start selling your mind and stop selling your time. Okay. Fast. I call it the sprint system because we talked about it earlier. You get inundated and just doused and just weighted with so much information that you never move. You just get paralyzed. Yeah. So because my first program took me 6 months, I'll never forget. I'm praying to God. I'm like, God, I need more time. I'm tired. The agency is killing me, right? I need more time, God. I need more time, God. I need more time. He like, boy, shut up. Take this pandemic. Like, that's how God like talk to me. Like, so he gave me a whole pandemic. I didn't pray for a pandemic, right? For sure. But now we ain't got nothing but time now, right? So in that time, I built my first program because remember I said I had this crush on entrepreneurs. So I'm like, let me make I can actually make something now that they can afford now. But that took me 6 months to make. So I just ate up 6 months trying to make this course. And I'm just like, boy, you could have did this in 6 days, you know? So ever since then, I've adopted this model or framework called sprinting. I have an idea, take that idea, I make a class for the idea to see who bites. If somebody bites, congratulations, I had this idea is now validated. Now I go and make the thing, right? And so been doing that for, I was doing that the whole pandemic. And then I was like, all right, it's time for a coaching program to teach people this. So take this method or this ideology of selling your mind with this methodology of sprinting. Bam, it makes the perfect child of, launch your coaching program, your high ticket coaching program in 14 days. No thinking about it. No imposter syndrome. When you're sprinting, you don't have time to be thinking about no fears, being paralyzed, all that. You sprinted before. It's like, I'm not even thinking right now. Right. And that's what people need today. It's just too much overthinking, too much content out there, and contradicting content, might I add. You got an expert over here saying one thing. Yeah. And then another expert you follow is saying the exact opposite thing, bro. It's like, you look up 6 months later, you still ain't did nothing. Right. And so sell your mind plus sprinting, that's the sprint system, right? And you're going to launch your program in 14 days.
Love it. Yeah. So people want to tap in. They want to be a part of that program. They want to embark in Justin AI. They want to follow your journey and your content, see how you're doing things. What's your handles, your website? How can people get in touch with you?
Justin, middle initial J, justinjdunn.com, DUNN. Justin J. Dunn everywhere. You can go Instagram, Justin J. Dunn. If you want to check out the coaching program, go to sprintforyourlife.com. Sprint for your life. We're not running. We're sprinting for our life now. You can watch the video, learn about it, book a call, chop it up with me and see if the program's good for you. But everything is Justin J. Dunn. And you can find everything else from justinjdunn.com.
Fire.
Yep.
Justin, appreciate you coming on, my brother.
Pleasure,
this has been very enlightening. I feel like you was Bishop Justin today, the way you was preaching, and I think that it was very valid and timely for me to hear a lot of that as well. But then also, like I said, having that conversation for the community that you always have a soft spot for, those people that are startups, creative entrepreneurs who are trying to find their way, and then helping guide them, because that's what this platform is about, and that's what a lot of what you do is about as well. So I appreciate you sharing your story with us.
My pleasure, man. I'm here for my people, and I know my people are creatives, and I'm just trying to free as many people as I can. I'm like the Harriet Tubman of creators out here, bro. So I'm here for them.
The millennial Harriet Tubman. I ain't mad at it. Everybody watching, make sure you tap in with other episodes, and we'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.